We're live. Hi, everybody. Welcome. We're going to give everybody just a couple minutes to tune in. We'll see how the numbers look, and we'll get started as we finish this first full week of what may be a very, very long haul down the road, and hopefully many happy and healthy Shabbats, even if we are separated from each other. Welcome to our little online gathering. If you haven't had the opportunity to do so, and it's really not necessary in any way, but you can look down, I think, at the bottom of my picture, unless you have me full screen, and you'll see a link to the same lyrics and readings that we're looking at. But again, it's not necessary, and if it'll take up a lot of screen space, you can probably pass on that. I hope you're all doing okay, and I hope that you'll say hello as we continue on the show. And we're going to start with, thanks to Ezra Donner, our director of music, we're going to start with Hine Matov, a song that talks about how good it is to be together, and it is very much a pleasure to be together, even if we're not there in person. So Shabbat Shalom to all the members of BT and everyone else who's watching. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יאללה לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יאללה לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, הנה מה טוב ומה נעים. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, יאללה לילה 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 לילה. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. הנה מה טוב ומה נעים, שבת אחים גם יחד. Well, again, Shabbat Shalom, everybody. It's sad that we can't be together, but it's a happy occasion that we have this technology, and we're going to celebrate Shabbat no matter what together. And we'll begin now by lighting our candles. Arthur? This is Arthur Lee Paver, my husband, for those of you who don't know him. There were some comments last week that he needs to smile more. Can't guarantee it.
Talk less.
Baruch haor ba'olam, Baruch haor ba'adam, Baruch haor ba'shalom, ba'shalom, Baruch haor, Baruch haor b'Shabbat. Blessed is the light of the world. Blessed is the light of humanity. Blessed is the light of peace. Blessed is the light of Shabbat. If you have something to drink, preferably an adult beverage, perhaps some wine or grape juice, I invite you to raise your cups, and all of us together to say a l'chaim. L'chaim?
I don't have a cup.
You can have some of that one. And we'll continue on with our first reading here. We talk about a sense of gratitude in my congregation. A sense of gratitude is fundamental to our well-being, even as we remain aware that there is no address to which we can direct it. At times like this, especially like this, Shabbat can remind us that even in unsure and fearful circumstances, we retain the ability to feel awe, joy, and a sense of community. For the grandeur of the universe, worlds known and unknown, galaxies beyond galaxies, filling us with awe and challenging our imaginations, we embrace gratitude. For the joy of human life, its wonders and surprises, its hopes and seasons, we embrace gratitude. for human community, our past and future hope, our capacity to work for peace and justice in the midst of hostility or oppression, in times of crisis or in peace. We embrace gratitude for the innumerable deeds of loving kindness which continue even as we are physically apart. We can embrace gratitude for the skill and dedication of caregivers, of nurses and doctors and technicians and researchers who work around the clock to heal. We embrace gratitude for all the joys that living brings, for resilience in the face of great difficulties, for the caring hearts of loved ones and friends. We embrace gratitude. Ephori oribi, Epho tikvati tikvati bi, Epho kochi kochi bi, vegambach vegambach, Epho kochi kochi bi, vegambach vegambach. Where is my light? My light is in me. Where is my hope? My hope is in me. Where is my strength? My strength is in me. And in you, and in you. Where is my strength? My strength is in me. And in you, and in you. Let us strive to lead loving, compassionate lives with our hearts, with our wisdom, and with our actions. These are the ideas that we inscribe in our innermost heart. May we practice them day and night, teaching them diligently to our children through our words and especially through our deeds, so that the next generations learn to revere and to celebrate life. So I want to share with you all some thoughts that I've been having, and happy for you guys to share yours as well in the little comment area. And I should say hello to some people, to William Thompson, BJ Saul, my dear friend, Leonardo Dressler, to Jamie Hind, I don't know you, but Shabbat Shalom, congregants, Rachel Ramey and Susan Shernett. And we'll make more greetings as we go through the evening. I've been sort of astonished at some of my own emotions this week. Some of them don't surprise me. Obviously, the periods of anxiety are something we all share, and I think I shared in the past that I've had some difficulties with that in my life. But even as we are unbelievably separated from each other in a way that 3 to 5 weeks ago would have seemed almost science fiction or apocalyptic zombie-like movie kind of fiction, we are in some ways more connected than we've ever been. We have never been forced to address something on this scale, the entire world bound together by it. Ironically, the scale of it stands in stark contrast to the size of the little demon that we're fighting. A virus that requires an electron microscope. Every one of us has someone or someones about whom we think, she just can't get this. He just cannot get this. And we have anxieties for the future, our economy, our communities, our neighbors, our friends. But as a humanist, one of the things that I take the greatest strength in, and it is an underlying belief of our movement and of all humanists, is in the power of people to make a difference. And that's what's happening right now. We are discovering our power to come together in a crisis. You know, the call to flatten the curve, which is vocabulary that I only first learned about 2 weeks ago and started sharing it with most people who hadn't even heard of it before. But as it spread, that idea kind of took hold. And it came from the people. It came at the same time that our leaders, too many of them, were telling us that this was a hoax, this wasn't real, it'll be 5 people and it'll go away. As late as last Sunday, politicians taking pictures of themselves at the local brunch, one of the more ill-advised places to be. And we're still seeing kids on beaches and at spring break parties because the leaders have failed to get the message out. But the vast majority of us have heeded this call, this people power. Before they told us to nest in place or limit our gatherings, we were taking action. Our congregation made the decision well over a week ago. We thought it would be difficult to communicate to our community, and we discovered that in the 24 hours it took us to prepare the letter, they had already been primed. Our willingness to lead when our leaders refuse to is a reminder of the great strength that we have as human beings. And if there's anything good that will come out of this, I hope it's the lesson that we're learning now about how our power can be activated when our leaders perhaps don't even want to acknowledge the existence of the problem. And we have challenges that are going to be exposed with the rawest of nerves during this crisis. For too long, income inequality and inadequate access to health care and sick leave benefits has been a growing plague of its own. And the pandemic is highlighting all of the gaps. We're seeing the results, reminding us that while we feel connected, now our society has been all too willing to ignore the lessons of interconnectedness, which is equality. And now they've learned, or beginning to learn, that a virus doesn't discriminate, and that what happens to one of us, whether in the halls of power or the wealth of celebrity, affects every single one of us. When this is over, we need to begin to reckon with this set of plagues. Health benefits for a few individuals are not sufficient. Everyone must be covered. Everyone is affected. Last year in Michigan, voters signed petitions to put paid sick leave on the ballot. Those of you who weren't here, it was a very big push. We did it at the Temple. We collected the signatures. One of our partners, Michigan United, had a big poll. What should we be covering? What should we be promoting? Our Temple and our membership and Social Justice Committee went all in at those meetings for paid sick leave. And the polls showed that because no one wanted their server or customer service associate sneezing on them because they got sick and couldn't afford to miss a day of work, this legislation, this ballot proposal was going to pass, and overwhelmingly. Then a group of sleazy legislators, led by our most recently departed governor, played a disgusting trick to remove it from the ballots by voting it in the legislature ahead of the ballot question, thus invalidating any need for a ballot question. But we knew that their intentions were not sincere. When the election was over, they repealed their own law, something that would not have been permitted from a people's proposal. That's how badly some people don't want others to have access to the benefits that we are now realizing are for the good of our entire society. BT Congregation for Humanistic Judaism is a social justice congregation. We picked those words deliberately. While this is going on, and when it's over, I want to urge everyone to start lobbying for solutions to these problems, for a cure to this plague. How can we stand by as airlines, which have posted soaring profits for a very long time now, while charging us $200 to change a reservation or $75 to bring our underwear on the plane, are now set to receive billions, while bankrupted small businesses and the now destitute employees of so many, many establishments receive crumbs or nothing at all. We cannot continue to force people to work while sick and at the same time denying them medical benefits and expect our society to hold together. All of this was foreseeable. Every one of the problems we're experiencing with this now, we discussed 2 years ago in the meetings we held to propose the ballot amendment. Humanism, as I said, believes in power of humanity to solve its problems. We certainly hope that those solving the problem of this virus will succeed, and we hope faster than they've ever been able to before. But we who are not in that particular line of work and don't share that particular responsibility, we need to work to make sure that those who have the power to solve the institutional and foundational problems of our society will make that happen. What affects one group, one person, can affect many, many others. That's a key premise of humanism. Let's be up to the challenge. We'll continue now with a beautiful song. It's actually taken from the Bible, the Psalms. Didn't need any editing or anything special to be done to it. It's called Mi Ha'ish, for those of you without the translation in front of you. Who desires life and wishes to see that which is good? Keep your tongue from evil and your lips from speaking deceit. Depart from it and do good. Seek peace and pursue it. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim ohev yamim lirotov. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim ohev yamim lirotov. Nitzol leshon chameira usfatecha midaber nirma. Sur meira va'asetov bakeshalom verodfehu. Nitzol leshon chameira usfatecha midaber nirma. Sur meira va'asetov bakeshalom verodfehu. Mi ha'ish hechafetz chayim ohev yamim lizmarotov. This is the portion of our get together tonight where we think of those who are ill. Whoops! And where Jeff remembers to turn off the next song. We think of those who are ill. Fortunately, so far in our community, at least here in Southeast Michigan, no one has contracted that we know of the virus. We hope that will continue, and certainly when some inevitably might, we hope that they will recover very quickly. But there are those who are ill, and one of our concerns, of course, with this whole business of flattening the curve is to keep the hospitals open and running. So we think of them as we do every single week in this community where we find we're lonely, those who have been wronged. I invite you now to enter your names. I realize we're on a little bit of a delay, so I'll read the names from our congregation this week, and if we finish the reading, I'll take a look and see if anyone has added names, and we'll add them throughout. Tonight, our well wishes are extended to Gail Gotthelf, to Cece Stone, Claire Levine, and Michelle Clevenger. Is there anyone else that you have? Please feel free to put them into the comment box, unless you're on full screen. Even if you are, I think you can see it, and you can take a look, and I believe somewhere around the right side of the video, I'm looking at a different screen than you. We also, at every one of our services, of course, we think of those whom we've lost. And so our thoughts turn to those who are no longer with us, our own loved ones, those whom our friends and neighbors have lost, the martyrs of our people whose graves are unmarked, and those of every people and nation whose lives have been a blessing to humanity. As we remember them, we meditate on the meaning of love and loss, of life and death. We recall now our loved ones whom death has recently taken from us, those who died at this season in years past, and those whom we have taken into our hearts with our own. Tonight, we recall the yard sites of Paula Bass, Florence Lasky, Aaron Robefogel, Jack Kadish, Albin Molnar, David Remnick, Rose Berger, Larry Harsh, Morris Plafkin, Jack Rose, George William Trapp, and Sam Meyerson. Again, if you're thinking about somebody whom you remember, feel free to add them to the list. I'll get better at this, but I do want to add to our list of those who are sick, Carol Kornfeld and Jeanette M. Throughout the week that's passed, the weeks that are coming, we'll be posting more and more information about things that our congregants and others can hop on online and share with us. I sent out an email today with the Zoom addresses of some of our upcoming meetings and so forth. Joel, let me know. I see you just posted, at least I'm just now getting it. Are these people who are ill or people to remember? Just if you could just annotate that for me, then I'll know which to put them in. But in any case, Joseph Brown and Sidney Bieber and Hansi Meyer, I assume these are all people whom we're remembering this evening. And next week, I think what I'll do is at the beginning of the service, ask anybody to go ahead and put it in so that we can do this in a more orderly way. I forget a little bit that we're on the live delay. You're not seeing this quite as quickly as I'm doing it. It's a couple of minutes, actually. It's not inconsiderable, so it's not really real time. But to all who are sick and to all who grieve, we extend our sympathies and we extend our hopes for speedy recovery. So as I was saying, our newsletter is online all the time. You can find it at birminghamtemple.com. There's a big red link button that flies in when you go there, so you can see our most recent newsletter. We are looking at what we're going to do for Passover. It looks like we're going to be, I'm going to add one more name, Hansi Meyer. I believe that's also for a yard site. And indeed, Joseph Brown and Sidney Bieber were yard sites too. I'll get better at this as we go through time. But as I was saying, we are going to have a Seder online. It'll be at 6:30 on, I'm forgetting the date, but it's the second night of Passover. Those of you who are local here in Southeast Michigan, you don't have to be a member. You can order, and we'll have those up this week, hopefully by Tuesday. You can order your Seder in the box. It will be delivered into your trunk at the temple. You can order it for first night, second night, or both. You can also order Haggadahs. We're selling them at our cost, which is about $4. And we'll include those in the package for you if you want to pick them up. We can mail them as well to any place in the country. I'm looking into getting some kind of Kindle app. If you are any good at how to make a Kindle app out of a PDF book, I would love to hear from you. My email is rabbi@birminghamtemple.org. That'd be a big help. I'd like to be able to sell it on Amazon, but I keep running into all kinds of business obstacles with that. So if you have some wisdom about it and would be willing to share it with me, I would be very, very happy to hear about it. shj.org is also, thank you, Miriam tells me now Seder is April 9th. shj.org has our Haggadahs as well. And we're very excited to be doing this. You know, we're just yearning for company. I'm looking at your names on my weird little screen here. I'm looking into the lens of a camera. It's not quite the same thing. I hope that you're quarantined with somebody you care about. Well, I assume that most of you are quarantined with someone else. It's just not that you just got stuck with them. But I hope that you're at least finding things to do together. Next week and throughout the week on our email list, I'm going to be coming up and sharing some tips for things you can do in isolation. Next Friday night, I'm going to share some thoughts from none other than Natan Sharansky, who spent quite a considerable period of his life in the Gulag in the Soviet Union, and 1 full year of that in solitary confinement for the crime of asking to leave the country. So we're going to learn from them and other people what we can do to keep ourselves going. In addition to the classes, we will be starting up a book group and a movie discussion group, all of that on Zoom. These are primarily intended for our members, but if you are a non-member and on our mailing list, you are completely free to click on, and we'll welcome you. We can accommodate up to 100 people on those Zoom gatherings. And I'm getting information about Kindle too, so hopefully we'll get that taken as well. Thank you, Rachel, for the kind words. Thank you all for tuning in. I'm starting to learn to stop looking at my computer so much and instead look at the little light in front of me, because that light, it may just be a camera, but it's also the light that I'm trying to see inside of each and every one of you. I wish you all a Shabbat of peace of mind, a Shabbat in which you can relax and be with your loved ones. It's not so warm right now in Michigan, so I know outdoor activities are still restricted. But remember, as one of our friends that's watching tonight, I think Joel sent me a beautiful little poem about what's not canceled. The outdoors are not canceled. As long as we keep our distance, we've got them. And the flowers will be coming up soon. And spring and Passover will be here. It's a season of renewal. It's a time when we remember old plagues. And considering we're living through one now, we think about, though it is a legend, what maybe it will be like to cross through the Red Sea and enter a promised land of our own, where not only will we be free of this virus, but we will also be free of so many of these inequities in our society. We're going to end with a beautiful song by Debbie Friedman. We adapted it just very lightly. It's called As We Go On Our Way.
Know peace as we go on our way.
May we be guided by love. May we be possessed of health and joy. May this be our future. Shalom.
Shalom, shalom.
May this be our future. Shalom. Shalom, shalom. May this be our future. Shalom. May we feel sheltered by the wings of peace. May we abide in safety and in love. May grace and compassion find their way to everyone. May this be our future.
future. Shalom. Shalom, shalom, may this be our future. Shalom, 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 may this be our future. Shalom.
From our home to your homes, to all of our Jewish community and all of our human community, we wish you a Shabbat Shalom.
Shalom.
We miss you all, and we hope we're in person again soon. Good night, everyone.